from Indiana Jones. She's going to be a guest, but my guest coming up for the first part of May, the first Friday in May, is very exciting, and I will let you guys know who that is before we end tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and let Annalie in, and we are going to get started. Annalie, can you hear me? She's like, oh no, what's going on? I can't unmute.
There we go.
Hey!
Hi.
How are you?
Hey. Good, how are you?
I am good, I am good. So I want to make sure, one, that you can see all these lovely faces. You can view in 2 different ways on Zoom, which you may already know. You can do gallery view or you can do speaker view. If you do gallery view, you'll get the tiles kind of like the Brady Bunch.
Okay.
If you do speaker view, you'll just see me and whoever's talking to you. So you probably want to do gallery view. That way you can see everybody. And I'm going to spotlight you for everyone so everyone can see you regardless of what their view is.
Okay. I don't like that I'm by that window. I thought my lighting was a little better. Let me see if I can move my ring light a little closer.
Do a little if you want.
There we go. Shine it down a little more. Shine some light on this. Shed some light on the subject.
Because it's 5 o'clock where you are, right?
Yep.
5-ish.
Right. So if anybody needs to know, it's 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock here. So instead of it's 5 o'clock somewhere, it's 5 o'clock here. So you're good.
So it is 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yep.
So where are you from? Where are you zooming with us from?
I'm zooming from Idaho Falls, Idaho right now.
Idaho Falls, Idaho. Very, very cool. Well, I was just telling everybody before you joined that I saw your first video, I think, when we possibly were in a hop together with Heidi Sombel. I'm trying to figure out where. Maybe it was even with Courtney from Creative on the Cheap. Did you do a mystery box or something with her, maybe?
I didn't do a mystery box with her, but I did do a the Christmas when Heidi was doing the every week, every Friend Friday and Christmas for like 8 weeks, and Courtney was on there. So yeah,
okay. Courtney, by the way, sends her love. She said she couldn't be here tonight because her son has a game, some sort of sporting game. I couldn't remember if it was baseball or soccer or basketball. Whatever.
That's totally understandable.
But she did say that she may try and join via the car. So it's very possible that she'll jump in. But she wanted me to send you her love just in case.
Oh, well, thank you, Courtney. Hopefully she gets to join.
I was telling everybody, though, that before you joined, I found your first video and like you were just going at it with these power tools. And I was just like, who in the heck is this? Because she is a badass. And then I started looking at your videos and your projects and went to your YouTube channel. And I was just like, I love her because I love that you do thrift flips and Dollar Tree. And, you're doing a lot of different stuff. Who are you? Like, where did you learn about the power tools and everything? Tell us about that.
Oh man, I promise I'm so average, but
are you real?
So I did grow up in a crafty family. My mom was a crafter. And so my mom actually owned or rented a boutique in a store called the Quilted Bear. I don't know if everybody knows what that is. It might just be,
Looks like Connie
knows. Connie knows. So, but yeah, so she used to put stuff in there, and we're talking like straight out of the 90s crafts where like they used to use the bandsaws to cut out all of the shapes. So like for Halloween, she would cut out bats and pumpkins, and then she would paint them, and they'd always have like the cute eyes. And it was like when raffia was like the biggest deal ever. Like she'd make wooden dolls and the raffia. Yeah. So she'd do all of that stuff. So I grew up around those tools. And so my mom would let me make some stuff. She'd cut some stuff out for me a little bit. And then when I got married, my husband at the time was working in construction. So it was kind of a package deal. When I got married, he came with a lot of tools, a lot of like pneumatic tools and chop saws and everything like that. And I was like, hey, I'm about this life. And so I just started using them a lot more. I used them at first for functional things like building stuff in our home. We refinished our basement. I was 8 months pregnant and using a skill saw.
I want to hear this story because when you told me that earlier, y'all, she was 8 months pregnant. She was finishing a bedroom in the basement.
For the baby. I was like, I don't know if anybody who's been pregnant goes into like crazy nesting mode, but I was like, I was so crazy that like I would wake my husband up in the middle of the night and I'd be like, why are we sleeping? We have stuff to do. Like the baby is going to be here. I went nuts. And so we were refinishing a basement and I was too busy to wait for him because he would work. And so I was down there cutting 2x4s and I was running electrical wire. I was hanging.
And you were 8 months pregnant at the time.
Yeah. 8 months pregnant, like I was trying really hard to like, I'm like, watch my belly, can't cut my belly. But other than that, I was squatting, I wasn't lifting, I was being safe, I promise. I waited for like the safe stuff for him. Like he would lift the sheetrock and then I would screw it in and do all that stuff. And so, but I'd finished a basement and then after that we built bunk beds for our kids. And I was like, well, this is fun. I would rather do this. Everything's so custom. And so then I kind of transferred it into like stuff that I could decorate my home with. And so
I want to talk about the home decoration and everything and how you kind of became a YouTuber, but you said something to me earlier that totally shocked me regarding your kids. How many do you have again?
I have 4.
4.
I have 4.
Did everybody know that? Some of you are like, yeah, I had no idea.
We finally figured it out and just bought a television. So that's why there's no more.
Nice. There you get more projects. You get another house.
We got Netflix, so everything's fixed now. You can rest assured there will be no more.
No Netflix and chill for you.
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about how you went. How did you even start a YouTube channel? Like, what was that progress like?
For sure. This is where like 2 stories kind of marry. So another passion of mine growing up, when I was 17, and I promise this isn't going to be like a life sketch or anything like that. I'm not going to hold you hostage all night. But when I was 17, I was allowed to get a couple presents or like one bigger present. And so I asked my parents for a video recorder. And it was like the football sized ones where you actually put tapes into it. Yeah, so I got one of those. That was I got for my 17th birthday. And then I got a bunch of tapes. And I'm not kidding. I would come home from high school and I would set up my camera and I would talk to my camera and I would say like, May 99 or whatever. I don't even remember the dates. I was in high school, so don't check that. But anyways, I would talk to my camera and I would fill these tapes up as a journal. And so then, of course, nothing happened with that. And then I've always been interested in photography and videography. And so I kind of held on to it a little bit, but I didn't know that it was like an actual thing. And so I have tons of footage. I've filmed my whole life. And then all of a sudden I saw that people were putting vlogs on YouTube. And I was like, that's a thing? People can do that? So it sparked my interest and I really started to pursue it. So I have actually had a YouTube channel since 2015.
Wow. Now, was it a DIY channel?
No, it was I have no idea what I'm doing. So I just logged into YouTube channel. Like, that's it. It was a grab bag. Like you had no idea what you were going to get. I didn't know what I was going to get. Like I look back on there now and I'm like, wow, why did somebody let me have a YouTube login?
Is it still on there? Like,
so yeah. Some of it's still on there and I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know much about editing and stuff. And so I just started throwing stuff on the internet. And then oddly enough, a YouTuber moved into my neighborhood and they were family vloggers. And so I got to know her and she gave me some guidance. And then I still didn't get a ton of guidance though. And I never really committed and went full time with it. I just dabbled in the world of YouTube. So in the meantime, on the side, I'm doing like DIY projects and then trying to figure out YouTube, but I didn't really mesh the two. So I was trying to figure out vlogging, to be honest. So I learned how to edit. I learned how to do stuff. And so really, if you go back and look, most of my videos up until about 2019 are all vlogs. And they're so bad. Like they're like all copyrighted. Like they're all music that I'm just like, this will sound really good for my family trip. It's all copyrighted. Like
can't
there's
monetize those.
yeah. There's nothing I can do with those, but I'm like, oh, well, I probably won't ever be vlogger status because I didn't think that I could commit to it. And then I finally learned just a little bit more. Come like 2018, I found a channel that teaches you how to, it was literally like off an ad. It's like, do you want to grow a YouTube channel? And I was like, yeah, okay, I think I do. So I got sucked in like an infomercial. And so I ended up watching this, and then I was like, I think I need to like figure this out, have some consistency, go full time. Okay. And so I did. I committed to full time in November of 2019. So after wasting 4 years, I know, it's crazy. My first video of commitment was I ordered this contraption from China, and it was a watermelon cutter with like a wheel, and you pushed it along the watermelon and it cut it out. So I was like, I'm just going to put this on YouTube. This will be like a review or see if it works, I guess. Yeah, so sure. I filmed myself cutting up a watermelon, and I was like, here I come, YouTube, with my watermelon cutter. And so that was my very first video. And after that, I was like, I got to figure out how to put something out every week. So I did some like how-tos, how to bake like a pie, how to just trying to get my feet wet, figure it out, get comfortable in front of the camera. Because I was like, I knew I needed a niche, but I didn't know what I should do yet, because I was still thinking that I needed to like eventually vlog. Okay. So then fast forward to February of 2020, I found a DIY challenge. And I was like, wait a minute, you can put your video in a challenge? I had no idea. So I entered into Heidi Sombel's DIY monthly challenge. I put my video in there, and I made something which I was already kind of doing anyway. So I'm like, I have some paint. I have some paint brushes. I mean, that they work together. I can figure this out. So I can still remember my very first DIY project that I made on YouTube. It was just a heart sign from the Dollar Tree. I flipped it over, I painted it, I put I love us on it and some flowers, and I was like, oh. And then I entered the challenge, and all of a sudden, like, I was like, this is it. This is my niche. It was just like a sign that I was like, I've been doing this all along. And I was like, vlogging might come a little bit later. Like I was like, I can actually have a second channel. I don't upload very much over there, but my second channel is like my lifestyle channel. So I moved all of that over there, and then I just focused on my DIY channel, and then it grew. Like I was like, people are watching me.
That is crazy. I just hit a button. Sorry for.
It's okay.
I'm gonna get out of here now. That is crazy. So did you have any DIY content at all on the channel before the Heidi Sombel entry?
Nope. No, I had nothing. It was
incredible.
Yeah, it was just seriously a grab bag. I didn't know that you could watch. And then the other thing too is I watched the challenge playlist, and all of these crafters were making stuff from the Dollar Tree. And I'd actually not ever shopped at a Dollar Tree, which is really sad because it's incredible. So I was like, the Dollar Tree, these guys are, I was blown away. I'm like, these guys are like wizards. They're magic. They're going to the Dollar Tree and they're finding stuff like gloves and rope and some placemats.
Get into a clock.
I was like, I was blown away. It was a new magical world for me. So then I was introduced to the Dollar Tree. I was introduced to this amazing community of YouTubers, which I will say the crafting community is so much nicer than the vlogging community. Yeah. Like, fantastic here. So that was like my introduction to it. I was like, I stumbled upon it. If I'm being honest, I stumbled upon a challenge, and I was like, what is this? So it was amazing.
That's fantastic. And I'm even more impressed with you now, because like, so you started your actual channel, like, I guess, focusing on your channel in like 2019, but then crafting side February 2020. So I started my YouTube channel in 2019 as well. And, but mine started off in like August, and for the longest time, all I did were hauls.
Oh, wow.
I was traveling for work. And so I would just go to Dollar Tree and in every city I would travel to, or like the 99-cent store, wherever. Yeah. And then I was doing crafts, but I was keeping them like on Facebook and stuff, and then started. So that's cool. I think that's incredible. What about the like the thrift flipping and stuff that you've done? Is that also just kind of sparked from it sounds like you've got a lot of just natural creativity and a lot of curiosity, which I think is the perfect combo when you're kind of doing a DIY channel or a YouTube.
Oh, for sure. In fact, I definitely like it. Just kind of, I don't mean to be like, oh, it just comes, but like I go to the thrift store and I'm literally like, okay, try to think like the rest of the crafters. Like they grab something and I'm like, how did you think to make something with that? Yeah. So sometimes I'll buy something and then hope that later inspiration will just like and slap me in the face. And sometimes it doesn't.
A whole closet full of that kind of stuff.
I'm like, oh, and my husband hates it. He's like, nothing's going to slap you in the face except for me if you don't stop buying stuff. So you got to stop. And I'm like, I can't, I don't know what's going on. It's crazy. Like it's weird how it just happens. You just all of a sudden, I mean, I was actually talking to Christy from Christy Creates the other day, and I was supposed to stop at the store. And when I got there, I'm like, oh my gosh, Christy, I was supposed to be picking up dinner and I'm in the Dollar Tree parking lot. It just happened. Like I didn't have any intentions of it. I just showed up and I was like, oh, is this a problem or is this awesome? I don't know. I feel like maybe both.
I get asked all the time, how did you come up with that? How do you come up with your ideas? How do you, and I'm just like, bourbon. Like, I mean, I don't know what to say, because kind of the same thing like you, I'll see something that's just really interesting, or I'll see something that I think is something cool that maybe I could make something with, and I just grab it.
Right.
I'm curious, I'm looking at gallery shot right now so I can see everybody's faces. Are you, and guys, we're a small enough group, so feel free to jump in if you have questions or anything. I think I want to make this super interactive and fun with everybody. But I'm curious if you guys can just nod your head up and down or back and forth. No. Do you guys do the same thing? Do you just go into a thrift store or a Dollar Tree and like grab something because you think it's cool and then figure out later what you're going to do with it? Or sometimes you'll see something and you're just like, oh my God, I'm going to make that. And you know exactly what it is. Like I will flip flop and kind of do both.
Those are the best. Those are the best ones. I've often told myself too, the one thing that helps me is I've learned that thankfully DIY, where it stands for do it yourself, as long as I really do try to do my due diligence to give credit, but I'm like, as long as I'm doing it myself, I don't always have to come up with it myself, right? So I see things and I'm like, I saw this on Pinterest, I saw this on Hobby Lobby, I want to challenge myself and see if I can do it. So that's why it takes a lot of the pressure off, because I'm like, at least this isn't a come up with it yourself niche. It's just a do it yourself niche. And that helps like with a ton of pressure, because I'm like, whew, okay, I saw so-and-so do this. I wanted one in my home. And so let's see if I can make it.
I compare a lot of this to like a recipe. If I have a recipe for chicken Parmesan, your recipe is going to be a lot different than mine. Right. Yeah, the chicken's there, the sauce is there, the cheese is there, some of the spices might be a little different, but because I made a chicken Parmesan and you made a chicken Parmesan, it doesn't mean you copied me or I copied you. We just made chicken Parmesan. Right. You know, and I think as creative people, like we can walk into like a Home Goods or a Big Lots or, you know, somewhere like that at Pottery Barn and see something and go, oh, I can make that. All I need is some duct tape and some florals from Dollar Tree and a candelabra. You know, you think like that when you're a creative
like MacGyver
person. Like
you're basically all MacGyvers.
And it's really, really funny how like territorial some people will be. Like they peed on it and all of a sudden it's theirs. And I'm like, girl, if I'm gonna make it for my house too. Somebody made about 17 versions of this guy back here that I made. And you know what? I saw it. I liked it. I made it.
Right.
It is.
Like you said, with the chicken Parmesan, everybody can make chicken Parmesan and it can all be different, but they can all be good. Everybody can have a good version of it.
Absolutely.
And that's the best form of flattery, right? Like if someone imitates something that you did, it's one of the best forms of flattery. So
and I'm like you know, I'll give credit if I see something. I've done that several times where, as a matter of fact, that's how I ended up for the very first time meeting Megan from Glue Guns and Roses. She made these like balls that were covered in rope that she put in a big bowl, like on our coffee table. And I was like, I love those. And I had 2 styrofoam balls and I had a whole bunch of nautical rope. So I just got out my glue gun and made them. And I did a video for it. And I shouted her out and called her out. And that's actually how she found me, because I tagged her on Instagram. And then we became like friends ever since then. But like, you know, you never know where that kind of positivity and, you know, the intention of what am I trying to say? You know, you're being good with it. You're honoring the person that came up with the idea that you gave the idea to, and it comes back to you, because now I've got a great friend.
Yeah.
Teresa B, you've got your icon hand up. Go for it. And then Marilyn, you'll be next.
I was going to say, when I usually go to Dollar Tree and I see something, I'm like, I'm going to make this. I've usually completely forgotten about it by the time I get home. Yeah. And then it goes into the closet.
Same. True story.
Sadly. Marilyn, go for it.
I was just wondering if I was the only Canadian on here tonight, or
You're not.
Oh, good.
Sandy Lumber Mill.
Oh,
are you in the gallery view or are you in the speaker view?
She's right on the top here.
Yep.
Because I have connected with a few more Canadians. DIY Danny. She's, I believe, from Alberta. She's fantastic. Cool. And then Breeze Arts is a new one.
I've chatted with Breeze Arts before. Definitely very cool. Very cool.
That is cool.
Did you have a question for Annalee as well?
Yes. I was just wondering how long it really took her to kind of get all your ducks in a row. I've been working on it. I've got one video on YouTube so far, and I've been trying to kind of get to the next point. And
for sure.
And when you say ducks in a row, are you meaning like kind of getting a rhythm and posting weekly and all that kind of stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
For sure. That's a great question. I like how you reworded it, Jamie, because I'll be honest, Marilyn, I don't have any ducks in a row. What's the meme where it's like, I have squirrels and they're
all at a rave. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all at a rave. So, but the biggest thing for me was this was what I learned when I was watching, Sean Cannell is the one that I followed to help me. He's with Think Media. He wrote the book, YouTube Secrets. So his biggest thing was, he's like, just start. And I was like, you make it sound so easy to just start. I don't know about any of you, but it's like, there'd be so many times where I'd sit down in front of the camera and there's nobody else in the room, and I'd sit down and I'd be like, and nothing would happen.
Yeah, Jamie's been telling me the same thing, to just start,
yes,
putting it up there. But
that's the biggest thing is like, and then the other thing too was giving myself the grace and the understanding that it's all going to take time. Anything worthwhile takes time. It's definitely a marathon and not a sprint. And once I let go of that, once I stopped comparing myself with other YouTubers and I just began comparing myself to myself, I started to see progress. So I'd post a video, and then on the next video, I would learn something new with the editing. And so I would feel like that video was better than my last video. So I would compare to my last video only, because that was a triumph. It was like a PR, like a personal record. So I was like, okay, I learned this extra trick. I added it into my editing, and I felt like it elevated my video just a little bit more. And then the next video, I learned something else. And so once I gave myself the grace, once I gave myself some patience, and once I gave myself permission to fail, I totally succeeded. I was like,
such a great statement.
Yeah. Like you have to give yourself permission to fail. You have to give yourself, there's a quote out there that somebody said once, and I wish I knew who it was to give credit, but somebody said, I actually never fail. I either succeed or I learn. And it was a perspective that I gained that I was like, you're right. When I fail, I do learn something. And I know there's so many things out there that talk about failure and how failure is such an important part of growth and learning. And so once I really was just like, I'm going to fail, and I accepted that I was going to fail, I just told myself, when I fail, not if I fail, when I fail, I'm going to laugh. Because I'm going to learn something, and I'm going to laugh at myself. I'm going to laugh it off, and we're going to have a good time. We're going to dust ourselves off, and we're going to keep going. And I learned that once I relaxed that a little bit, I saw that the mistakes were actually less than when I was like trying not to fail. It was almost like when I was like, if I fail, it's fine, or not really tried to fail, but like just really allowed failure, I seemed to perform better. The pressure was so much less that I was just like, wow, I'm doing better.
So Nelson Mandela actually had a quote that said, I never fail, or I never lose. I either win or I learn. And it looks like I was Googling while we were chatting. It looks like it's been adapted by several people in different ways. But yeah, that's such a great quote. And speaking of quotes, I love how you end each one of your videos with some sort of inspirational quote, because I know personally for me, it's almost like they're very, very timely. In particular, the one that I watched, I think I emailed you shortly after I watched the video, and I was like, you don't know how close to home that quote really hit, because I've been kind of bashed lately by some haters that are kind of spreading some lies about me that just aren't simply true. And that quote was just kind of the perfect like way to just kind of go deuces, you know, and just kind of wash my hands of it and realize that I was fine. And I actually did a Cricut video yesterday. I think it went live.
I saw
put a Brene Brown quote at the end of it. And when I was doing it because it's a kind of a Brene Brown quote that Cricut has adopted. But I thought about you for a minute there, and I almost gave you a shout out, but I was afraid Cricut would be like, "You're not allowed to collaborate with other collaborators during our videos."
No worries at all. I know those Cricut videos. You got to be very careful, and it's fine because, like I said, I didn't use it originally anyway, so no worries about it whatsoever. But I'm grateful that
chicken parm.
It's honestly become one of the favorite parts of my channel. And I honestly just started doing it because I was like, I was receiving it. My boss, I work outside of the home right now. I work actually like a Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 job as a registered nurse in a home health and hospice agency. I'm actually the director of nursing. So they have me in management. It's insane. They have me in management. I don't know what they're doing, but I'm a manager. And so, but my boss, he is actually a certified life coach. Like he's paid for the training, but he runs an assisted living facility. And he just felt like being a life coach, he did it not to do it as a job, but to help his residents within his building because the aging population, the geriatric, they're so amazing. You can learn so much from them. So he did it for them. And so he does a mandatory meeting every week where we call it culture training so that we all can become cultured. And we do these trainings. Each person is in charge of it each week. And so these people bring these videos to my attention. So I'm gaining all of this amazing stuff. And I just thought, I can't keep this in. I'm spilling over with a passion of this learning and positivity. And so I just thought, if I could share it, they're sharing it with me, I want to share it with you. And so it's just something that I love. It's a passion. So it's easy to share because it's a passion. So
I absolutely love that. And that's why I started the ChitChat show, is because I had some great mentors and great friends, Jerry Ann Henson, Megan from Glue Guns and Roses, Sarah Jane from Chic on the Cheap. I had some great friends right away. And, you know, I haven't even collaborated with any of them. They're friends.
Yeah.
And, you know, they were just offering such great advice on growth. And I was like, we got to figure out how to share this information with people.
Absolutely.
And so we've got to figure out how to, because the YouTube universe is big enough for all of us. And, you know, I was going to say this earlier, but when you were talking about like you and like, it was either, I think it was maybe Connie that was saying it. Did Connie leave? Is Connie still here? There, okay, I see her screen. She stepped away. But somebody was saying how, you know, like how to get motivated or kick in the pants or whatever. And you were talking about, you know, making the commitment to yourself. What I was going to say then is like, don't compare yourself to anybody else's channel. You know, you yourself are enough. I don't need to be Sarah Jane from Chic on the Cheap as much as I love her. Her channel is perfect. And, you know, I'm never going to be that perfect because I'm just a big dumb oof sometimes, you know, and like your channel and my channel and everybody else's channel is going to be so different. Annie does amazing skits and costumes and themes and everything. And like, that's what's beautiful about Annie, and the people that subscribe to Annie are the people that are going to want to see that. And, you know, the people that watch me, they're going to be okay if I call this pen a pencil. Because who cares what it is? Just threw it and Otis just hauled ass. It just hit him and he was like, sorry, buddy. But you know what I mean? Like you'll find your tribe of people and you just want to be yourself. You know, that's
absolutely
the most important thing. Sandy, you've had your hand up, your virtual hand up for a while. So honey, go for it. I'm sorry for rambling because you know I do that too.
I love it. I'm fangirling. I'm a huge power worker, like power tools and woodworker.
Sandy,
you're incredible.
Yeah, we have a sawmill, so I have a little bit of wood. But Annalie, you are so inspirational. Like you're wise beyond your years. Like I'm just blown away how you inspire people. Like every week with your, like today with the lemons, and then you ended with David and like giving that back to us. Thank you.
Oh,
Like,
you're so welcome. I can't tell you how much it means to me that you like it. Like because it's like when you love something and you're like, check out my cool new thing, and you want people to love it too. And if they're like, oh, that's okay, you're like, oh, okay. So when people like it, it's even better. Like, I can't tell you how much it means that you like it. So I just am so grateful for you, because I wouldn't be here without any of you. So I'm so grateful.
I don't think like big channels like you maybe realize that you're changing lives. Like, I was sick with cancer for 3 years, and it's you and your channels that got me through every single day, like every day.
You're gonna make me cry. I'm not worthy of this comment.
No, you are. You're 100,000% worthy, and I really appreciate. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for you.
No, thank you. You don't realize, like, you're stripped bare, like you lose your hair, you gain like 25 more pounds. It's like, really, really. And yeah. And then to watch all you guys, like, it's such an amazing community, and you guys are making a movement, like you and Heidi and Christy and Annie, and like, you guys are making a movement. Like, people are supporting people, and it's wonderful. There's no backstabbing. Like, you guys are raising us up. Like, we're little channels, and you guys are raising us up. Like, I'm just blown away by the support.
Oh, you're amazing.
Okay.
Well, it's just like Jamie said, everybody counts. Every single person counts. And Jamie, with this show, that's one of the things that I admire about it, is that he's the same way. Like, he'll go from, it's like numbers don't necessarily matter. To us, they matter. Our numbers always matter to us, but Jamie looks for ways to help all of us. And, I'm so grateful for your comment, but you're truly the warrior. And like I said, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you, because we've got to have a community and an audience. And so I'm just grateful that you appreciate value. That's my goal, is to add as much value as I can. And I don't want to ask someone to stick around and subscribe if I didn't provide them with any value. And so if I can provide them with value, that's my goal. And so I'm just grateful for this community.
Aw, you're wonderful.
Thank you.
So was there a point you got to, it's like, okay, you know what, this is really happening? Like, I think, like, was there a turning point or a turning video, or it's like, hey, this is a thing. This isn't just a hobby.
Yes, actually, yes. So in two different ways there was, and I promise I'll tell them quickly, but like I said, I always looked at YouTube in general as an unattainable goal because of the comparisons that I was making. I was comparing myself to my neighbor, who at the time had 50,000 subscribers, and I didn't even have a login yet. And so I was comparing myself to her. And so I also felt like if I did vlogging, I was copying her. I thought that she would think, oh, you feel like this is a great idea, which she never even implied that. She never even gave me any inclination to think that. And I took that upon myself to be like, she's going to think I'm copying her. So despite the fact that I loved it, that's what caused me to drag my feet for 4 years, was those fears that were just all in my head, my own. I held myself back. I sold myself short. And so finally I thought, this is something that I want to do. I'm going to pursue it a little bit more, a lot for like my family. I want to have documented memories for my family. So when I got that ball rolling, I wasn't consistent. And all of a sudden I had 58 subscribers, like 58. And I was like, 58 people want to be here?
People that want to watch me?
I was blown away. So that was a moment where I was like, I think I can do YouTube. My neighbor never even said anything. That was just all in my head. So that was a pivotal point to where I thought, I can do this, but then I was like, how? I thought that I had to do a video every single day because that's what my neighbor did. They were daily vloggers. And I thought there's no way that I could daily vlog. And so right then, as that happened, my husband actually lost his job. So as he lost his job, I had my degree. I was a registered nurse. And so thankfully, I was able to go back to work. He lost his job, and we thought, instead of trying to find just another job, let's put him through school. That's actually what caused us to move to Idaho. We were in Utah at the time. We lived in Utah. I'm actually from Utah. I'm born and raised. all except for the last 5 years. And so he wanted to do an engineering program. So he applied in Utah, applied in Idaho, was rejected in Utah and got into Idaho. And I thought, what, I can't go to Idaho. And then I had to go back to work. So he went to school, I went back to work, and I had little kids, and I just wanted to be home with my kids as much as I used to be able to do. So I was like, okay, let's try the YouTube route, because I've heard of monetization, and I thought, what's some way that I can tackle both of these and try to come home and be with my babies, but also work from home. So I set up YouTube and I started to do it. And then I monetized. And once I monetized, I thought, okay, it just seemed still so far off. And so I would say that I finally start to feel it with YouTube after monetization. Monetization is that huge step. I'm sure all of us can remember that feeling of monetizing. We're there, we're going to do this. So after monetizing, then it was like, the way that I describe it is like, you know, when you're on a really long road trip, but you're not familiar with the road. So there's a lot of bends. And so you go around a corner and you think, I just need to get around this corner. It's a really long corner. And as soon as you go around the corner, all of a sudden it opens up into a straightaway that goes into like an abyss. And you're like, that's so far. That's so far the straightaway. I thought all I needed to do was get around the corner. And now there's this straightaway that's even longer than the corner. And so I remember thinking, I monetized, I'm there. And then there's still this road ahead of me. And so I just was like, all right, I'm in it. I'm committed. I want to come home to my babies. And so I just kept plowing through. I ended up, I go to work, and everybody does. Everybody has this type of story. Everybody goes to work. I know we all have these type of jobs. So this is not like just me, but I go to work and I get home around like 5 or 6. I spend as much time with my kids as I can. I put my kids to bed, and then I go to work again outside, because the one thing that I would rather sacrifice out of all of that is my sleep. And so I sacrifice sleep to be with my family, and then I support my family. My husband still currently does not work. He is the stay-at-home parent. He's a wonderful mom. He's a better wife than I ever was. He's a better mom than I am. He's fantastic. He does a great job, but he does want a job one day. So I'm hoping that we can kind of trade and transition. And until then, this is what I'm hoping will help bring me home. I'm hoping YouTube will bring me home. So finally, I started getting some collabs and people and even maybe some brand deals is when I, at least for my small channel, is when I really was like, okay, I think I really feel like I'm making it. And then when my first check came, I was just like, what are we going to do? What do we do with this check? We're going to give it to the Dollar Tree. Let's be honest, but what are we going to do? So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And congratulations, 18,000. You're so close to 20.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
Very, very cool. I love that. If anybody else has a question, Annie, do you have a question, or are you just waving kisses?
Yes. No. I do have a question. First of all, oh my gosh, I love you. You are awesome. And I love the fact that, you know, we were just chatting yesterday.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
It's so cool. You mentioned that you work full time, and I also work full time. And that's one of the hardest things, is like keeping up with playlists and challenges, and like, you know, how do you manage? I know everybody talks about balance, but to be honest,
I manage like, old school calendar.
I know, but you know, still, it's like, sometimes don't you get like, you know, because you have a very stressful job from what you have an extremely stressful job. And sometimes, you know, how do you balance that stress? Because sometimes you feel stressed just from YouTube, which it should be fun, and it should, but you're like driving yourself to like, you want to continue. You have a goal.
Absolutely.
You have a goal. This is not a hobby. This is not just for fun, but you do have a goal. How do you do it all?
Oh my gosh. To be honest with you, it's really messy. Like, it's such a disaster. Oftentimes it looks like, okay, I wrote down a collab. I have an idea of when it is. I'm pretty sure it's on this time. And then I go and look, and I was so wrong. And I'm like, no, it's tomorrow. And then it's an all-nighter. Like, it's an all-nighter to make that commitment, because it is so important to me. And then other times it's like, okay, I know that I have this much time. Naturally, I'm a procrastinator. I am in all, like, my husband, we joke that I need constant adult supervision. I'm that person that like drives my car until it's like completely like fuel light on. And then I'm like, I got 20 more miles. Like I got this and stuff like, and then I do things that I don't even know why I do them myself. I'm a disaster. Like my car registration was due in November. I registered my car in January, but I registered my car and the stickers came in the mail. I still don't have the stickers on my car. And all like, they're like right there and my car's like right there. All I have to do is walk out and put the stickers on. The stickers aren't on my car and it's May tomorrow. So it's like, I don't know why I'm like this. So in all honesty, I don't know how I do any of this myself except for just prayer, faith, hope, and honestly, passion. I would say passion is my best answer for that. And then the analogy that I've used for it in the past is I look at it like an exercise workout. So when I go to start working out, I'm like, you know what? I want to eat healthy and I want to work out. And I do it. I work out one day and I'm like, okay, am I skinny yet? Am I strong yet? Like, where's my muscles? They said there was going to be muscles. So I want it like right now, but then I have to remember that just because I worked out once, it doesn't mean that it's going to be there. So I remind myself, this has got to be like a program. I need to do like a 90-day program. I need to eat good for my lifetime. I need to work out for my lifetime. It's got to be a lifestyle change. So when I remember that at the end of the day, it's like, I'm tired. I don't really want to go and do this, but I'm committed. Like it's fourth quarter and I'm in it. And so sometimes it looks really messy. It looks like a lot of eye drops to fix these red eyes so my boss doesn't think that I'm
right, doing something else. Oh,
sometimes it's just prayer.
Nice. I can relate.
I just wanted to ask, so do your coworkers know about your channel? Do they, are they subscribers? Do they cheer you on or?
They're amazing supporters, but I actually didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell any of like hardly even family. I didn't tell anybody until about 8,000 followers for me. And then I still didn't even tell them. They began to find out. So one coworker found out and was like, I saw a YouTube video of you. And then all of a sudden other coworkers were like, wait, what? You have a YouTube channel? And then it came out. And then they asked, well, why didn't you tell me? And I said that because I wanted to make sure that I could do it first. I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it before I shouted it, basically. So once I reached 8,000, then they started to know just a little bit more and stuff like that. And then the other thing too is, sometimes people love it, but other times, like, know your audience. You get those people that it's like, YouTube's not a real job, or they're like, I'm sorry, is that like, what are you doing with that? What are you doing with your life and stuff like that? So every once in a while, I'm just cautious with it because I don't want it to come across like, hi, I'm a YouTuber, so we should hang out. Or, I just want to be careful with that. And so I definitely am protective of that because one of my favorite subjects to talk about is myself. I'll talk about myself all day long. Just ask me, I'll tell you. And so I just want to be careful with that too, because I don't want it to be like the Annalie show all the time. Like, right. Thankfully there was a designated time for this right now, but not everybody wants the Annalie show 24/7. So I just try to be careful with that. But they do know now. They're so supportive. They were awesome during like the contest that I just did in March. They were so supportive. So
I've not told anybody that I work with. In fact, I have blocked them all on my social media.
Really?
I have.
Wow.
Because I just don't want to even open that up. This is something I'm having fun with and I enjoy. And I'll take when I was in the office, I'll have a few things in my office that, I made, and somebody will say, oh, I like that mirror. And I'm like, thanks.
Yeah. Thanks. I mean, I get it though, because it's like, this is our safe place too. Like, this is a safe place and we already get enough hate. And so I think personally, it's easier for me to get hate comments from like a total stranger than from like someone that I know and that is like a closer person to me, I guess, in like my closer personal group. That would be harder to face than someone that's to read. So I don't blame you for doing it too. And that's why I never told anybody to begin with. But once they started finding out, the response was really great. They were super supportive and wonderful. So
yeah, I can, as I'm growing, I can deal with the, like you said, the hater that you don't know.
Yeah.
A lot easier than, of course, if it was my friend. And somebody told me a long time ago, and this is so true. And Teresa, you're going to be next with your question. But somebody told me an engagement on your YouTube channel is an engagement on your YouTube channel is an engagement on your YouTube channel. If they are leaving a comment on your channel to tell you, why are you using all those plastic bags in your Dollar Tree haul? guess what? They're still engaging on your channel, and that's still feeding the algorithm with YouTube.
Right.
If you're leaving a comment and saying, you know, you suck at painting, they're still engaging your channel.
Yep.
And if they give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down, they're still engaging your channel.
Exactly.
And that's what the biggest thing is that a lot of people don't realize. So every time now I'm reframing it, and it took a while because I was that person that would be like, you know, they would leave a comment and I'd be like, well, beep, beep, beep you. And, you know, now it's like not like that. I'm just like, thank you for the engagement.
Yeah. Yeah. Or thanks for your feedback. Like I could always learn something. So thanks for your feedback.
If it's feedback and if it's constructive, that's one thing. But if it's just like, you know, I did a series of Pride videos last year, and all the proceeds for the 2 videos went to the Matthew Shepard Foundation. I ended up raising $125 in ad sales revenue through YouTube and donated that to Matthew Shepard, did the screenshot, did everything. I had so many negative comments and people that like unsubscribed, told me that rainbows were for the sky and not for the gays. And like, it was just, I got personal messages emailed to me that were just disgusting. And it really, really affected me. And then after a while I thought, and I was like, you know what? They're not my people. They're not who I want to hang out. I don't want you to see my content if that's the way you're going to think and be, you know, like I don't need that. Teresa, I saw you turned your camera off. She had a question earlier. She may have jumped in the pool, but jumped in the pool real quick. Who else had a question? Norma, do you have one? Go ahead and unmute yourselves.
Hi, Annalie. I love your name.
Thank you. Thank you.
I am not a DIYer. I watch. I watch you guys. I craft with you guys. Throughout these videos,
to people.
Throughout the videos, that the ChitChat show, everyone always says it's consistency. You know, if you say you're going to do Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever dates you're going to do it one time a month, Bethany said, or whatever, to stay in that lane and always keep that. Yes. And as a watcher, I can tell you that's real important to us that watch, because it's like your show, your favorite show that you like watching on TV. You're like, you can't wait for Tuesday nights. You can't wait for Wednesday nights. That's how I am with you guys and your crafting and the nights that you tell us you're going to do it. And, but then after we've been with you for so long, if for some reason you don't do it, because we feel so close to you, we're like okay, maybe something happened, right? Maybe something happened. That's okay. In the beginning, it wasn't like that for me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was waiting for this Tuesday and she didn't do nothing on Tuesday. What happened? And then I realized now I feel like you guys are like my friends. And it's so hard to understand that in a way because we don't know each other. We've never met each other. And I mean, when you guys talk about your families or you talk about what you're going to do, or like when Jamie went to the wedding, I was so excited to hear he had a good time, or, you know, like, I feel that a big part of being with you, when they say it's a community, it really is.
It is.
And as somebody who watches and listens, and like I was watching your video today about the lemons, but you had me laughing so hard because you kept saying things and you go, I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying. I mean, you're like a comedian throughout the whole thing. I was loving it. But just things like that with all the crafters, I get we get so much out of it that we feel you're important to us, very important to us. And I don't think I'll ever, you know, I'll never say never, but I don't think I'll ever, you know, be doing the YouTube channel. But I love to support. I love to support the ones that just started. I love to support the ones that have been there forever. I share, I tell people about. So that's very important to me because I feel that you guys have given us so much. And I've always been a crafter. I was a scrapbooker, stamping and scrapbooking. That was my thing. Nice. But in November is when I found, you know, you guys and the community and everything. And I was just, I mean, you can't post something without me getting in the car and driving to Dollar Tree. It's crazy. I tell my husband, thank God it's Dollar Tree and not Macy's, or thank God it's not shoes and purses, it's Dollar Tree.
Right. there's a positive to it for sure. Lon, you have your hand up, but before I unmute you and ask your question, I want to say, you guys, this has been like the fastest hour ever. We are literally like 7 minutes left in this.
Wow.
Annalie, if you are okay with it, and I think the crowd is okay with it, are you okay with going a little bit over?
Absolutely. I'm good.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. Lon, you had your hand up. Do you have a question, or did you change your mind? Uh-oh, we're unmuting.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, how are you?
No, I do not have a question, but I want to say, Annalie, I absolutely love watching your shows. I've loved doing the tours with you and the DIY tours, and it was super great. And I just kind of want to echo with you. Well, I guess not echo, but just to say, Jamie, I haven't told a lot of people that I have a channel at work because
yes,
I just,
thank you.
Don't feel super comfortable yet because I don't, like you said, with the comments. But for me, it's a creative outlet. I'm a paramedic, so that's an outlet for me. And I don't make the best videos, but hey, I'm doing it, and so Norma.
What's the name of your channel? Tell everybody what the name of your channel is.
It's Living Life with Lon.
Perfect. Living Life with Lon. Because a lot of people will leave comments and say, what's their channel name? So Living Life with Lon. Perfect.
Correct. But I just came on to just say with Norma, that just really resonated with me because, again, it's a creative outlet for me. But I didn't realize that people were waiting for that next video. And I'm kind of like, I'll just post it when I can, because this is not my full time. But thank you for sharing how you sacrifice and you stay up late and you get it all done. And so maybe I just need to sacrifice some sleep.
You're doing great.
You know what I'm saying? So thank you.
Oh, absolutely. You are so welcome. I'm so grateful for your comment. And this is a complete side note, but I can relate to you 100% because I was a firefighter paramedic from the year 2007 until 2017. And that's what I did while I put myself through school. So I obviously have that's my heart. That's my passion. I grew up in basically pre-hospital medicine and then went into hospital medicine. So I love that you're a paramedic. That's incredible. Like girl power, right? Those girl paramedics. That's awesome. And so I admire that. And then same thing with your comment. Like I was the same way. There are some times where I'm like, okay, I've got to do the best that I can. And sometimes I do fall short, but as long as I can just get back up and keep trying. And then usually it works out, but I'm so grateful for your comment. And Norma, I wanted to tell you really quick. I just wanted to say that I can relate to you as well, because one of the things that my husband actually teases me about is I can start I don't know if anybody else does this, but when you're trying to find a new series, you don't really know what's going on. You read the caption, you're like, I'll try this out. So you do the pilot one, and it's not really even that great, but it's am I going to commit? Am I not? But you know that the first one's always the worst one. So you feel like you kind of owe it to keep trying. So in most of the pilot ones, there will be characters that it's just introducing them and I get invested. All they have to do, somebody has to just say something a little bit about themselves and show a tiny bit of their life. And I'm invested 100%. And if something happens to that character, I'm upset or I'll cry if something happens. And my husband's like, you just started this show 20 minutes ago. And I'm like, but I'm invested. He has a dog named Jimmy and he just over. I can't cope. So I totally know what you mean by getting related to or relating to people and wanting to have more from them. And I'm sorry, my Alexa was just reminding me that my son needs to practice violin. So sorry.
No problem at all. Angie and then Megan. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Angie.
I think I did. Can you hear me? You may hear birds. So, Annalie, I just wanted to say that I love watching you, and your Instagram cracks me up, girl. Those kids yesterday on the farm, and you tell them you're going to feed them to pigs, I thought I was going to die laughing. That's something I would do. And I miss my grandbabies. So when I see your kids, I'm like, oh my God, they're so cute. So don't think I'm a weirdo when I'm commenting on there.
Oh, no.
I just love babies so much.
I love it.
I think they're adorable. So I just wanted to tell you, your kids are adorable.
Thank you. Oh, I appreciate that. They're fun. They're good kids. I mean, they're kids. Sometimes they're hard. They're really good when they're sleeping, but I love them.
They look just like you too. That is the cutest
thing.
They all look like
so funny. It's so funny that like we've been told that before. They're like, your kids are just like a stamp. You're like, stamp, there's a kid, stamp, there's a kid, stamp, there's a kid.
Exactly.
That's hilarious.
Even your boys look like you. My son looks like me.
I've got some strong genes, I guess.
Yeah.
So they're fun. We're a very, very teasing family, if you could imagine. I definitely, my poor family, like, I think I feel like I'm the funniest person I know, but they just don't seem to feel the same. Like, I feel like they get a free show all the time. I'm like, people have to pay for this. Like, this is great. My son just turned 10 and he's starting to do the whole embarrassment thing. I entered into a contest on Instagram where I wanted to win a giveaway. And so the challenge was to dance on a table in your kitchen. So I did that and I won the giveaway and they just don't appreciate it. I'm like, I got a cookbook out of the deal. Like, you're going to get some yummy meals out of this. And so now I've been teasing my kids. We took him out to Cold Stone to get ice cream. And I was looking around when we were in there and I was like, hey, are you ready? I'm going to start dancing on one of these tables to like wish you happy birthday. So I'm like a table dancer now. So I'm just going to dance on one of these tables and to wish you happy birthday. Is that okay? And he died. He's in the embarrassment phase. And I was like, oh man.
He's too cool.
About 5 more years and then he'll be doing it back.
I hope so. Yeah. I hope so. We are a tricking, teasing, sarcastic family. So hopefully people understand that, because every once in a while my kids are like, no, like my daughter last night was like, no. And I hope nobody thought that I was being mean to her, but we do. We
funny. I love it. I love it. Megan, what is your question from Painted and Distressed?
Hi. So I don't really have a question. I really just wanted to thank both of you because I just started my channel and my Instagram like in March or something like that. And the both of you guys have been so kind, so sweet. And you guys have given me, I'm getting emotional, have given me such great advice and have just been just so incredibly kind. And I really appreciate it. And especially, well, both of you, I mean, I just really appreciate you guys. And I really enjoy these chit chat shows that you do as well, Jamie. And I just wanted to say thank you and congratulations on winning that challenge. I watched video and you're
the creative champion. We got to talk about that.
Yes, that was so awesome. I loved it.
Oh, that was fun. That was an experience for sure. If anybody, if you guys ever get a chance to do it, do it. It was it was an experience of growth and it was awesome. I totally enjoyed it. And so the very first round, because we were given a theme each week. And so they didn't share the results on, because they were voted by people. Like Heidi actually paid for a program to count the votes so that they could be coded. And her husband is a computer tech. He's a complete genius. And they wanted all of the votes to be completely fair. And so that only one person could vote once. So they actually paid for a program that would allow people to vote and counted the votes for them so that it couldn't even be tampered with by Heidi. And so, so we would see the results, but she only shared them within the group. The group was fantastic. I learned so much from these girls, even though we were competing against each other. It was so awesome because like each week there was so much support within the group. One of the girls had problems with their computer and all of the other girls jumped on and they were trying to like give advice to help her so that she could make sure that her video was uploaded. And it was such a supportive thing. But the very first week I threw out a project that I was like, okay, this is good. And the results came in, only 6 moved on and I was 6 out of 6. And I was like, whew, barely, like I was holding on to the tail of that writing in. And so I was like, okay, I have got to figure this out. Like I got to step up my game. Like, and not that I went into it thinking that I was going to win. I just went into it like, I'm going to do something that I love. And then after that, I was like, whoa.
That's amazing. Connie, you have a question. Oh, you're still muted though, Connie. Hold on one second. Let me see.
Okay.
There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So Annalie, we are both apparently you're from Utah, right?
Yes.
And I'm from Utah.
Okay.
So I don't live there anymore, but in fact, I just flew
out of there
back to Kansas.
Oh.
Yesterday. So yeah, I have lots of family there. So my question
And
was
one thing, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Connie. Buffy, who's not feeling well, so she's keeping her camera off. Buffy Designs is also from Utah, and she's on time with us too. So
That's cool.
we got Utah in the house.
Yeah. Yeah, I've lived most of my life in Utah. I was raised there, lived most of my life. But my question is, because I love tools. I have a lot of tools. Is there any one tool that maybe intimidates you?
Ooh.
Oh, yes. Yes. I mean, oh my goodness, if I had to narrow it down to one, the skill saw. The skill saw for me is the most intimidating, mostly because there's a technique to using it. Well, there's a technique to all tools, of course, but the skill saw, for me personally, I've had the most kickbacks with the skill saw. And so from personal use of kickbacks and damaging like 2x4s, and thankfully, knock on wood, I have never cut myself, but the skill saw was and is the hardest one for me. And it's the one that, like, when I go out into the garage, I see like all the tools and I'm like, it's almost like my friends. I'm like, hey friends. And then I'm like, skill saw. So yeah, like it's a formal relationship. I'll use it if I have to, but, and I mean, I don't want it to know that I'm like a little bit freaked out. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. But deep down, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to use you unless I have to.
Right. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
I have a lot of different tools, and I don't mind the skill saw. What I have a problem with is actually having a lot of kickback from is the jigsaw.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So it does you a lot of kickback on that. And I finally figured out my table saw. It doesn't give me too much kickback. I put the little thing on it that kept it from kicking back. As long as you're holding on, there's no issues.
Yes.
But when I made my table, one of my work tables, I made it too tall. And I'm short. You can ask Jackie Burns for creation. I'm very short. And so I had to cut 4 inches off the legs.
Oh,
so it wouldn't be too short, but it wouldn't be too tall anymore. But yeah, I absolutely love my tools.
Yes. Oh, that's amazing. I love that you use them.
I do. I built a 7-foot dining room table.
Wow.
Yeah, a farmhouse table. And then I built a 5-foot by 3-foot kitchen island.
Wow.
So yeah, I've done
you
lots
should be
of furniture.
Me.
Yeah, I was gonna
be showing me how to do this.
Connie, do you want to be a guest on the next Chit Chat show? Like,
yeah, really. Let's talk about that, right?
Awesome. Yeah, that's super cool. I love that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Connie.
You're welcome. I really love watching people use tools, because that's where I mean, yes, back in the 80s, I was the tool painter. You know, I had my scroll saw and my sander, and I did all of that. Nice. And then I started doing, you know, I've done crafts for years, but once I moved to Kansas is when I really started getting all my tools and started working with them.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
That's awesome. Guys, I do have a giveaway tonight that I want to make sure that we acknowledge. There's a Target $25 digital gift card up for, or not Target. Where the heck did I come up with Target? Probably because I'm going to go to Target tomorrow. An Amazon gift card. I got a $25 Amazon gift card. And Annalie, it's up to you. If you are in the gallery view right now where you can see everybody's camera, I don't know why I'm holding a paintbrush, but I am.
You're okay.
Everybody's camera. And I want you to close your eyes and just kind of do this on your computer screen without touching any buttons so you don't disappear on us.
Okay.
And when I say stop, whoever you're pointing at, that's who wins the gift card.
Okay. I do have, maybe you can help me with this. I have it's making me toggle. So even though I'm in gallery view, it's like page 1, page 2. Do you know how to make it so they're all on one page?
Are you on a desktop or
a laptop?
You're on your laptop. So go to full screen. Are you on a Mac or a PC?
Chromebook?
I don't know what that is. Go to full screen and you should be able to see everybody all in one.
Okay, I think that's better. Yes. Okay. I think that's better. There we go.
And if you have your camera off, then you're kind of naturally at the end of the Zoom thing. So
okay, so turn, say stop video.
Close your eyes. Nope, don't do
Just
nothing.
close. Okay.
You'll go away. Don't touch the computer. Just like with your finger holding back way from the computer.
Okay.
So you don't hit anything. Close your eyes and then just pretend you're following the grid of people. And then when I say stop, just point to the screen and whoever you're pointing at wins the $25 Target gift or Amazon. Amazon gift card. All right, count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Megan, painted and distressed.
Megan, painted and distressed. So Megan, send me an email after this that just says Amazon gift card in the subject line, and I will email you a Amazon gift card tonight. I've learned that if I ship stuff out, it's never going to arrive. Does anybody know Velvet Love, by the way? Do you know Velvet? Okay, because I owe her a box from like 2 months ago. Yeah, it's bad. Guys, before we wrap too, I want to also let you know that we have some very exciting news with the ChitChat show. Starting next month, with the exception of 1 week, because that is my parents' anniversary week, and I'm going to be spending time with them in the beach. But
as you should.
ChitChat show is going to be going to a weekly format. So we're going to do every Friday night at 7 o'clock. And, you know, obviously, if you can join, that's great. If you can't. But to kick this off, I have a incredible guest that all of you get the heads up on, and you can RSVP right now if you want it. Have you guys heard of a channel called Do It on a Dime? Catherine?
Yes.
Do It on a Dime, like over 1 million subscribers. Accidental YouTuber, like totally started YouTube and didn't realize what she was starting, and now she's almost at 2 million subscribers. She is going to be my guest on Friday, May 7th. So if you guys would like to RSVP, you can do that right now. I'm going to announce it probably tomorrow, but Friday, May 7th. And then the 14th of May is going to be Annie from Indie Annie Jones. So we're going to get to see, I'm expecting costumes and costume changes.
Oh, I'm excited.
And all stuff. I might even do a costume for you too, Annie. And then after that, we've got Amber from Amber with DIY with Amber.
I love Amber.
And then Christy Creates is going to be in June. So we've got a really cool lineup of people, and I'm also working on somebody from HGTV that's going to be coming as well. So lots of stuff planned. Definitely have some other folks that I'm still trying to confirm, but lots and lots of really good stuff. Who else has a question for Annalie? I want to make sure that we're not taking up all of your evening, because we know that your son has violin practice.
Oh my God. It's okay. I set this aside. So I was like, Mom's going to play with her adult friends. So, but I don't want to take up your guys' evening. I'm just grateful that you guys came and hang out with me. I'll also work on my English.
So what is next with you? What is your next big thing coming up?
My next, so right now I'm doing just a bunch of amazing collabs. I have some of those. And then I would love to figure out a monthly challenge that I do. I know those are super fun. So I'm still trying to figure out what that is going to be. And then there's rumor that once the Creative Champion contest is done through each group, so another group starts up in May, I think she's going to do 5 groups. Once she's gone through all the groups, she might do a champion off.
Like an all-stars?
Yeah. So like all of the winners of the 5 groups will come together in like probably like a 5-week thing where just one person goes off each week, which will be incredible because that will go all the way up to like 100,000 subscribers. The last group will be like really big. So I'll be like the baby. So I'll be in with the big dogs. So if that happens, then
I love that. You are setting yourself up to be a big dog, and I would love to get on your collaboration list. I think that we could do an awesome thrift flip collaboration together.
Yes.
You let me know, and we will figure it out.
Okay.
Annalie, it's been an absolute pleasure. It really, really has. I have been a fan for such a long time, and cannot thank you enough. And was so glad that you agreed to do this and so glad that we could finally fit it into calendars and everything. Guys, before we go, I do want to give you the opportunity, because if we ran into, I didn't even ask you this question. Have you been recognized, like if you go to Dollar Tree or Michael's or somewhere like that, has anybody ever come up to you and said, "Are you Annalee Ashby DIY?"
No, I haven't. I haven't yet. In fact, I've been trying to get friends that like work at the Dollar Tree. I've been trying to like friend them because I'm like, hey, hook me up. When the shipment comes in, you should like send me a message. So I've been trying to like even friend them, not in like, my husband thinks I'm like a total creeper because I'm like, I have the advantage. They have a name badge. I get to learn their name. So I'm like, hi, Addison. Hi, you know, so and so. Yeah, sure. So I try to talk to them, but they don't even know, or they've never even asked at all. So I haven't, but I do tease. I tease my family. Like when we go places, I'm like, okay, just be careful. My adoring audience might rush us. So just get ready for it.
So I will share this bonehead story that I had the other, like maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I was at Dollar Tree. And I think I may have even shared this when Mark Montano was on the last. But I was at Dollar Tree and, you know, we're all wearing masks and stuff still. And this woman comes up to me and she goes, "Excuse me, can I ask you a question?" And I was like, yes, because I knew she was going to be like, "Are you the crafty DIY guy?" And she goes, "Do you like to take care of your skin?" And I was like, yes. And she holds up this Dollar Tree product and she's like, "I have to tell you, this is the best stuff. I love this. I buy it everywhere. I search all the Dollar Trees in Atlanta, blah, 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 blah." And I was like, "Okay, great. Thanks. I'll take 2 of them.
I'll work on my skin. I appreciate that."
You want a selfie? You know?
Yeah. Like, wait, do you want me to sign that? Is that what you meant? I was waiting for you to be like, "Excuse me, are you?" I thought you were going to be like, "Do you work here?" That's
I got
what
recognized one time for being the dead guy on a Discovery Channel show, but can't do it for the crafty DIY guy. But maybe after the masks are gone, it'll happen.
Yeah. Like, are these coming, right? Like it's gonna happen one day. One day we're gonna be like, "Stop! It's been too much. I've already signed."
I can't shop at Dollar Tree anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
A friend of mine managed a music store in Miami when Michael Jackson was still alive, and his entourage, like his management team, called the music store in advance and was like, "We're bringing Michael Jackson in to shop. He'd like to do it after hours. They'll be there at 6. He'll be in and out, you know, by within an hour." And Bill was like, "Yeah, sure, okay." And sure enough, Michael Jackson came in and shopped for an hour and then left. And Bill said to this day, he's still like blown away. So maybe we'll have our Michael Jackson moments someday.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like one day we'll have to be like, "I'm sorry, I'm going to shop at the Dollar Tree. Can you like set a special side?"
Right. Or call in advance on shipment day after shipment day.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna put Annalee on screen on the speaker view. She's gonna be main. If you guys want to take your virtual selfie with her, she is main on screen. All you have to do is, and I'm gonna do one for sure, take your camera on your phone, turn it around, turn your face to the computer and go, "Hey," and then you say something.
Me?
Yeah.
Say something?
Yeah. Just say hi.
Oh, hi. I don't know if I should smile or talk because I don't want you to catch me like, "Eh."
I think I kind of did, but
did you catch that? Did you catch like the crooked?
No, you're good. I think a couple people are still trying to do it, so go ahead and just keep saying hi.
Okay. Hi. Hi. Should I wave?
Yeah, do whatever you want.
Wave. Okay. Hi. Should I just pretend like I'm like hi.
Paparazzi. Huh?
Yeah. Like, "Oh, stop. Stop.
Right. Perfect. I think everybody's got it. So you guys feel free to tag your photo. Look how cute that is.
Oh, that's awesome. Good. You didn't get it too much, right? Like my eyes look straight, maybe?
Funny, like you can see like my dirty clothes sitting on the little guest bed there, but that's okay.
No judgment.
If you guys would just tag it, and be sure to tag Annalee, you can tag myself as well if you want. And thank you so much. This has really been incredible. And again, if you guys want to RSVP for the May 7th event with Catherine from Do It on a Dime, I'm so excited about that one as well. Please feel free to go ahead and do it. I probably will start announcing that either tonight, maybe this weekend. I'm not sure. And then this will be up on YouTube within about a week. So
yay.
Yeah.
You guys, thank you so much for your incredible comments and for being here. You guys are the rock stars. So thank you so much.
Awesome, everybody. Take care. And Annie, if you want to stay on for just a minute, I want to ask you about your thing tonight too.
Yay.
So everybody else, get out.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, you guys, thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Anthony. Thank you again.
Bye. Thank you.
Of course.
Bye.
Bye.